Washington, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, D-Calif, said Tuesday that Senate Republicans are trying to get away with murder with their policing bill.
Specifically, Pelosi, during an interview with CBS News Radio, said the GOP's legislation does not include a federal and definitive ban on chokeholds as many activists have demanded, but rather says the police tactic should be used only if lives are in danger.
We're saying no chokeholds, Pelosi said, talking about the Democrats' legislation. They're not saying no chokeholds. I mean, there's a big difference there. What's the compromise? Some chokeholds? I don't see what the compromise is.
The Republicans' bill, led by Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, the chamber's lone black Republican, includes measures aimed at increasing transparency at police agencies and around use of force incidents while incentivizing departments to use body cameras and discouraging chokeholds by withholding federal grant money.
More, GOP police bill would incentivize cities to stop using chokeholds but wouldn't ban them.
Pelosi echoed many congressional Democrats, who've been or reportedly planning to block the GOP's bill.
For something to happen, she said, they're going to have to face the reality of police brutality, the reality of the need for justice in policing, and the recognition that there are many, many good people in law enforcement, but not all, and that we have to address those concerns.
So far they're trying to get away with murder, actually. The murder of George Floyd, she said.
More, they grew up. Tamir Rice did not.
More, Trump vows to issue executive order protecting statues, says it would reinforce current law.
Her comments met with swift backlash from Republicans, who called for her to apologize, specifically to Scott, though she didn't name him by name.
Representative Elise Stefanik, RNY, tweeted that the comments were absolutely disgusting, and that Scott is an incredibly effective policymaker and leader on racial justice and policing reform. America is blessed to have him in the United States Senate.
Pelosi should immediately apologize for this hateful statement, Stefanik continued.
Matt Whitlock, senior advisor to the National Republican Senatorial Committee, said the comments were absolutely outrageous. If a Republican said something like that, every other Republican would be asked if they were comfortable with that characterization.
Ken Farnaso, the deputy press secretary for the Trump campaign, called for Pelosi to say it to Senator Tim Scott's face. Farnaso used to work as press secretary for Scott.
You don't get over nothing like this, mother of Tamir Rice says moving on has been painful.
Elizabeth Harrington, the GOP national spokesperson, called it disgusting.
Nancy Pelosi needs to immediately apologize to Republicans for her deplorable accusations, said National Republican Campaign Committee spokesman Michael McAdams in a statement.
Senator Kelly Loeffler, R.GA, called the comments revolting and tweeted at Pelosi, "Shame on you and shame on the Democrats enabling you."
USA Today has reached out to Scott's office for comment.
More, Louisville cop Brett Hankison fired for his role in Breonna Taylor fatal shooting.
Drew Hamill, deputy chief of staff for Pelosi, defended the speaker, saying Pelosi didn't single out Scott, and said, Republicans, if there's any one Republican she's talking about it's the self-proclaimed Grim Reaper at SENATEMAJLDR, a reference to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
He continued that he didn't hear any GOP outrage when his number 3 in leadership, Senator John Barrasso, RYO, said Democrats put their bill in a chokehold.
Only a chokehold ban would have saved George Floyd. We need the #Justice in Policing Act, he concluded.
More, White House press told to leave grounds as tensions rise over attempted removal of Andrew Jackson statue.
The House bill, which was led by the Congressional Black Caucus, not only would end qualified immunity but also aims to bolster police accountability and end the practice of officers with problematic records moving from one department to another by creating a national registry. It would end certain police practices, such as the use of no-knock warrants and chokeholds.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, DNY, wrote a letter to McConnell saying that the Senate bill was not salvageable ahead of the planned procedural vote on Wednesday. At least 7 Democrats need to join the Republicans to advance their measure.
We will not meet this moment by holding a floor vote on the Justice Act, nor can we simply amend this bill, which is so threadbare and lacking in substance that it does not even provide a proper baseline for negotiations. This bill is not salvageable and we need bipartisan talks to get to a constructive starting point, Schumer said.
More, these students are no longer at their colleges because of racist social media posts.
Schumer also blasted Barrasso for his chokehold reference, tweeting that they aren't a joking matter.
The fact that they're joking about chokeholds instead of actually banning them shows that the Republicans never took this seriously.
The House is planning to vote on their bill Thursday. However, McConnell has stated it won't advance in the Senate as it is too overreaching.
What is systemic racism? Here's what it means and how you can help dismantle it.
Discussion regarding chokeholds and the need for police reform was sparked after the death of George Floyd, a black man who died in Minneapolis police custody after a white officer pinned him to the ground under his knee.
Contributing, Crystal Hayes.